welcome back to part 2. Well, I've already got this thing all chained up and everything, and it's working. I fixed my muffler, which is still too loud, so I gotta dink with that again. I gotta find a smaller sprocket for the engine here, and I need a bigger sprocket here, which I found one. And I need a small, tiny sprocket behind there to run that big sprocket back there. So that this thing got torque, and it's not, right now, it screams and the thing barely moves. Screams and that clutch barely turns. So it's really got a high gear ratio, meaning it'd go really fast if I can get it up to speed, which eventually it would, but I don't want to get this thing up to speed. So yeah, well, so currently I've got this big sprocket here. I'm still gonna take it off this arm, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this little sprocket right here, this little itty bitty guy, or possibly something a little bit bigger. I got a whole selection. Whatever I decide to use, I'll probably end up using that one right there, because it's the smallest one I got, and if I can make that one work, then it would be awesome. I'm thinking if I can get this one cut off of here, which is just welded on there, I could take this one, cut the center out of it a little bit bigger, and weld it onto here, onto this. If I grind the thing down, and I might be able to make it fit on that. And if I can make it fit on that, then I think I got a chance of making this thing work a lot better. So if I take that little sprocket there, and over here, what I'll end up doing is cutting this one off the stack, and this one will go right inside there and be welded on. I'm going to get rid of this bigger sprocket right here, and possibly this one. I'm not quite certain on this one yet, but I know for a fact I'm going to have that little guy in there, so that that little guy can drive the big sprocket back here, pretty much. It'll sit up underneath here, in the behind this. It'll drive that big sprocket, so that that tire will spin slower and the engine can get up to speed better. I was originally thinking putting that right there, right on there, which it is smaller, but I want it smaller than that. A lot smaller than that, and it would be really hard because of size difference. I've also got to try to space this out or get this muffler back more, because it chain touches the muffler. I already welded up all the holes over here and welded another bar on here with a regular mower muffler, and it's still too loud. So yeah, well, I'm just trying to prove a point that you can build a chainsaw powered bicycle to one of my friends, and well, I'm really into this thing now. I've also found myself a brake lever. I still gotta go back to my shed and go find some more parts. I didn't even notice that was there. I'm gonna be able to use that and put that right up here, because I got a small wheel on the back, so that it'll have a little bit more torque to it. So, yeah, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Crazy Builder 141, signing off. Stay tuned for part 3.